and we got Khazarian. And not one of these motherfuckers, not one, Ashkenazi, Sephardi, or Khazarian is one of the 12 children or tribes of Israel. Go look it up. Who the fuck is these motherfuckers? I already gave y'all the spoiler on the Khazarians. Right? Now they call the Ashkenazi and the Sephardi are known as the Spanish Jew and the French Jew in modern colloquial terminology. Both of them are Latin subcultures. French is a subculture language of Latin. Latin is the parent language of French, Spanish, Italian, and Dutch, and a couple more. Latin is the parent language. So the French, the Italians, and the Spaniards are connected by linguistics that was written by Etruscan Moors. All right, now that y'all get this part, when they all start coming over here, who came first? Who came first in mass? They were called conquistadors. Break the word down and translate it. Conquest, Tudor. The Tudor royal family. Look them up. Google who are the Tudors. Tudor. It's an entire royal family. I see you. I see you, Simone. So they are these royal families, Tudors, right? These are a bigger family, an older family than what you call your Merovingians. Your Merovingians is a subset under the Tudors. All royal families from the gentry came by way of Tudors in Europe. So, the royal families became fractured when they got kicked out of Europe. Where the motherfuckers go? Okay, so now, what happened when they got over here? We know they came over here. So they tried to masquerade as the people of the land. Their philosophy and their thinking is this. If we can keep these people from ever realizing who they are and their blood ties to the land, we can just say we them. And we can say they came from somewhere else. And if we tell them they came from somewhere else long enough, they bound to believe it. So who's writing this story? Who's telling this motherfucking narrative for us to see it as if we came on a ship? Columbus came on a ship, right? The Mayflower, them was ships. But I can't find no slave ship. I ain't the only one been looking. Malachi York was looking for a slave ship. He couldn't find one either. Dane Calloway been looking for a slave ship. He can't find one. Nation of Islam been looking for a slave ship, and they can't find one. But we can find immigrant ships. We can find immigrant ships from Europe that also stopped in Africa because it's in their log. I didn't make the shit up. It's in their log. They wrote that shit. So we know they pathological liars. So do we believe them or do we don't? They wrote that we came on ships. My mama told me we ain't come on no fucking ships. She don't know what them people talking about. Well, who is these motherfuckers that came on the ship? Those are what you call your black people, BLAQ. It's a legal terminology and a legal classification of a subset of a group of people. And it ain't got nothing to do with their skin color. Right? They the same motherfuckers kicked these motherfuckers out of Europe. So if they kicked them out of Europe, why are they coming over here to the great melting pot? Right? And what's this one drop of blood doctrine? Right? You own it, Shatoya, Moors. But it's two kinds of Moors. Because the legalese was used to confuse the issue at hand. What the fuck you talking about, Rod? The legalese was used to confuse the issue. Okay. So in our culture and how we have developed in these here so-called United States of America, the legalese is the language lawyers talk. Medicalese is the language doctors talk. Colloquial language is the language commoners talk. And then you have what you call political jargon, which is the gentry. These four classifications of royal hierarchy. When you know the medicalese, the legalese, the gentralese, and the colloquial language, they can't trick you no more. Trickery out the door. Right? So now we got these motherfuckers telling us we ain't from here. They contracted with what we call Dawes Roll Indians. If your family traced back to the Dawes Roll, that means either two things. Either your family was inserted to steal a birthright, or your family was injected to remove a birthright. The Dawes Roll
my energy. I'm more of a dreamer or like a healer. I have a lot of dreams. I
Yeah,
don't
we
always know
call
how to,
them dream walkers.
huh?
In the native tradition, we call them dream walkers.
Yeah. And I'm learning more about my indigenous side. But from my mom line, we Blackfoot. On my dad's side, we have more Cherokee.
So look up that word. You'll find out your real tribal name by doing the etymology on Cherokee.
Yeah, cause no, and that's crazy. I was gonna tap into that. Like I've seen it like really correlates with Blackfoot.
Blackfoot was one of the tribes. They called them Blackfoot because they had walked barefooted and the sun had cooked their feet.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they was called Blackfoot, but they was an original tribe. They a spinoff from the Choctaw and the Chickasaw.
Okay.
They fell up under the Iroquois confederations. The kindred tribes is called the Crow. Um, I can't remember all of them right now, but they were all connected under the generic term Cherokee. Cherokee is a play on words, Cherry Key, which was the George Washington Challenge. That's why that's what Noble Drew Ali discovered by infiltrating the Moorish Zionist temple.
Okay.
He brought us, that's why he put all of their secrets in the public domain. So now we can put the pieces to the puzzle together.
Okay, okay. Okay, so that means I just gotta go do some deeper researching because I didn't really know that, but I've heard the two. I've seen the two, like the Blackfoot and Cherokee, kind of be more linked in together.
Yeah, those are from the. They were from the Mississippi Delta, going down from Jackson to Macomb in the middle part of Mississippi, and it's right up in there is where all of the tribes, the Mississippian tribes, diverged over into. We stopped off there from the west. We stopped off because that's where we got our marching orders for the Gullah Wars from Big Mama. Big Mama was in New Orleans at the time.
Okay.
Right. So all of the Big Mamas got together and was like, stop the bloodshed. The only way to stop the bloodshed was to challenge them to a conjure war. And we knew they couldn't win. But we didn't have the high chiefs on the land to end it sooner. And the ones who seen it, the lesser chiefs, weren't in the position to do anything about it without getting murdered.
Okay. Okay, that's some notes to self to definitely go to keep that in mind when I'm doing, because I definitely want to. I've been doing a little more deeper research into just my native side now, or my indigenous side on both. I didn't even know. I actually just found out on my dad's side that we do have a form of, we have native blood in us, but I've always known from my mom's side.
Look, we is the native blood.
Yeah.
The Mississippian tribes is the parent tribe. Everybody, when they talk about tying into the vine, they all talking about being married to one of the old Mississippians. So when all of the tribes come from foreign places, they bring, the women make the arrangements of who, okay, well, you rank this high on your clan, so then I mean you got to marry into the clan over there. That's why it's the great melding pot. The darker, we darker on the East Coast than we are on the West Coast because we traded wives with Africans. We didn't just start mixing with them people, but that's why it was decided to say we was from Africa, because we had been trading with them for thousands of years, which included wives.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, so royal families, that's old news. If you don't know the way that the royal families operate, you'll never figure out why we look the way we look in different parts of the land. You won't never figure out why every goddamn culture from Nova Scotia in the north to the bottom of Venezuela to the Samoan and Tongan Islands to Hawaii all got a community in Florida. That's just why they came to fight the Gullah Wars. All of the islands, since you got a little Jamaica, a little Haiti, a little Grenada, all of those islands sent soldiers to fight the Gullah Wars. After the wars, they set up their communities and maintain a cultural identity to the islands that they came from.
Right. Yeah. That's crazy because this confirmation, my sister, one of my sisters, she's one of my she's a good friend, a good sister, and she's a little elder than me, but she's told me about that, and I really didn't know that much about it, but she did tell me about it. So it just kind of confirmation on what she's been telling me. But okay. I did just have a question, and I just forgot about it. What was it? I did just have a question. I don't know. I just have to wait till it come back to me. But yeah.
Yeah. So somebody
Well,
asked
I'm
you,
grateful
came
to.
over here and traded with us. Study Mansa Musa. They came over here and they liked it so much they stayed. Right.
Okay.
The Mansa Musa staff of rulership was found over here on the island in Central America. That means that whoever inherited that staff is the rightful heir to rule over Ghana, but they didn't want to go back over there. This was heaven on earth, the Americas. This was the central hub for all knowledge, all conjures, right? We didn't believe in some of the dirt that these motherfuckers has been doing to us. It wasn't in our culture. Now it's a part of our culture because they brought it over here and used it on us. Now we got to use it back.
Right.
That's why we've been stopping the bloodletting, right? And then they pulling all of the GMO foods off the shelves. This is why you got whole Walmarts with crime scene tape up while they taking the food out.
Is that why, like, they're letting, like, certain stuff like that shooting that just happened in Virginia, like, letting stuff like that happen or something as a cover-up? Because, I mean, they got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, so if you go look, over the last 2 years, you had a ridiculous amount of fires at slaughterhouses.
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
Like that. That's what that is, getting rid of GMOs. They doing insurance scams so they don't take that loss. One of them had a fucking plane flying to the slaughterhouse. A little twin-engine Cessna flew into a slaughterhouse.
But then now you have, like, different things that's going on. Like, now they want to stop natural herbalists for...
That's smoke and mirrors. That's the trigger to people that's into homeopathy and naturopathic medicine to get their ass in this fucking fight. Inform the people of what these motherfuckers is doing and stand firm on your position as a healer. If they don't do that, they're going to lose their rights to be a healer because they're not participating and telling the people that don't let the motherfuckers do that. It's just it's an antagonism to call to action.
Okay. Yeah, no, I get that, because I was telling my homegirl too, like, you know, like, they can't just do that. Like, how you gonna stop people from selling herbs and stuff? Like, they grow in nature.
They can do it if we let them.
Right. That's the thing. But yeah, okay, yeah, if we let them, and I get that part too. That's what I've actually been.
But as of right now, any legislation going on is fraud. It's fake news.
Yeah.
The Senate and the Congress is closed. The White House is fucking closed. The Federal Reserve is fucking closed. All that shit closed.
Now, okay, so I remember you saying that before. Like, I remember that. Now, okay.
The fall of America has come. Babylon fell in y'all face, and y'all wasn't even watching. So they running the narrative to challenge. Right? They running the narrative to challenge ideology. Every ideology has to be tested. And if we don't realize that we the ones in the position of power now, then they can't give us the power.
I feel like a lot of us are waking up, no matter what level people own, but it's like a mass majority of our people waking up, like just waking up in general. And I be feeling like, okay, a lot of things be like so we see what the people, we see what they into, like the algorithms and stuff like that. So then let's start doing this, or let's start doing that. Like, that's not, no, that ain't gonna work either.
Yeah.
Just because I remember, like, just this summer, you know, you got a lot of readers and stuff, a lot of diviners, the women, you know, divining and stuff like that. Then now for, what was it? What was that going on? I think it was around Juneteenth. And now McDonald's offering, here in Georgia, McDonald's offering readings, tarot readings. Like, come on now.
So everything they doing now is geared toward trying to wake up a cross-section of the community that hasn't been reached. A lot of the people that's fast food practitioners that go on a regular basis, they live off fast food, they got a fast food mentality and think that everything's supposed to happen instant.
Yeah.
Throw that shit in the microwave for 30 seconds.
I had an older friend that used to call this the microwavable generation.
Yeah, this is
instant right, though.
Instant gratification. Everybody want it right now. They can't stand to wait. They can't stand to go through the pains of, like the shit that I've been doing for the last 3 years. Before they sent me to do this, I told my mama and the old lady, I was like, fuck them niggas. They like this oppression shit. I don't want to be subject to the ridicule with telling them the truth, because most of these motherfuckers would rather be comfortable in the lie and go along to get along than be waking up by the truth. Nigga, why you disturbing my peaceful
so
sleep? I was being good for massa. You know, so
from a feminine standpoint, it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate, but it's like I understand that too, because sometimes it just get to a point like, I mean, it's like the saying, you can't put a gun to somebody's head and make them take the information.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. So I didn't want to go through this because look, literally, I done been on here with Moors coming in hostile, but they leave with a different mindset just by going over the information. What do we already know? We don't need no outside information. This is what we already know.
Right.
Right? They came, they gave us the Bible and everything associated with it. Before they came, we didn't associate with nothing that's biblical. Now we want to be everything.
They are.
Yeah. And now we want to be everybody in the Bible. We want to be the Hebrews. We want to be the Moabites. We want to be the Canaanites. Them motherfuckers ain't got nothing to do with it.
That's why I kind of started my journey from the Hebrews. And then I just kind of ventured over to